Alright, welcome to the channel. I don't like a very long introduction, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into the reading. I ask my guides, I ask the universe, I ask the entities that want the best for humankind, mankind, to give me a message for those who are watching that will help the growth of not just them, but for the rest of mankind. Give me a message for the growth of mankind. Alright, so the message that I'm getting is that a lot of people are not seeing the fruits of their labor, the work that they have put in when it comes to the type of society that we live in. You're putting in all this work and you are receiving absolutely nothing back. You are gaining nothing from this. It is time to put down the burdens. It is time to move forward when it comes to your own sovereignty, when it comes to your own health and wealth. It is time to put down the burdens. You are carrying the passions and the ideas of others. You are not carrying the passions and ideas of yourself because you are conditioned to care about what these people at the top care about. There are people right now defending people who are hoarding wealth. And if you have been or were or are one of those people, you need to put down the passions of those people because it's bringing you nothing. It is time for people to start separating themselves from that type of lifestyle. It's time for those to start separating themselves from those in charge who want you to just as labor, like you as just as livestock. And you need to create your own systems. You need to start being self-sufficient. You see how this person has hobbies? They're growing carrots, they're growing tomatoes, they're growing coins. This is where you're going to have to start moving towards. You're going to have to start becoming an emperor of your own. Building communities with others, standing up for what's right, doing what's best, being the leader in charge of your own world. And is it scary? Yes, it is. But it is way more fulfilling than putting more into a system, putting more into other people's projects and getting nothing in return. At one point, a very small point in history where people were able to put in to someone's business and get something back. But you are getting nothing. You work, 8+ hours at a job? Some people even work more than one job. Some people even work a job and have a business. And you are receiving nothing. You are reaping none of the benefits. All of that is going to waste. It is wasting. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your efforts, your energies. And this is going to be a decision that the collective is going to have to make moving forward. In this Knight of Cups, if you see their face, so unenthused. So unenthused. You're going to have to stop giving to situations that you think you have no choice in. You do have a choice. It may not be a fun choice. It may not be a safe choice, but it's still a choice. The other choice is not safe either. The other choice is you're putting into something for nothing. You're getting nothing in return. There are no safe choices. There are only other choices. We have the Lovers in reverse. So there is a decision that people are, I think the collective is coming to this conclusion that they're going to have to start moving towards community care instead of working for these people who have only them and their children's best interest in any of this. And within that, the universe is going to offer the universe is going to offer abundance, is going to offer stability. It may be slow and it may take time, but you can work your life away slowly and end up with nothing, or you can work your life away and end up with something. Something that someone can benefit from, something that your children, your nieces, your nephews, your friends' children can actually have at the end of all of this. There is emotional fulfillment, and that is what's being offered when you leave these vampires behind, these people who want to suck the labor out of you. You need to put down the ideas of other people. Put Put down the passions that those other people have. Put it down. Put it down. Those are not your passions. A lot of y'all are afraid. You're afraid of being poor. You're afraid of your world crumbling. That is going to happen either way. And I know that sounds scary, but these people, they already have you working for nothing. There are people right now living in their cars, working 2 jobs and cannot afford to live. They cannot afford to live. They cannot afford to move. So you're going to have to find a new avenue. But this shock is going to push y'all in a better direction. And it's going to be painful because this is the stuff that has been taught to us our whole lives. I think a lot of people want to put their head in the sand and not see what's going on until it actually affects them. But a lot of times when you wait to take action until it shows up at your door, that is when your options are going to be very small. You won't have that many options, so you cannot wait. You actually have to move forward now. You have to find those who want to be in community with you right now. Find those who know more than you about this topic, because the world is changing. The world that we live in is no longer what it used to be. And it's because we have a lot of reckless people out there. A lot of reckless people out there who are willing to do impulsive things in the name of intellect. In the intellect, when I say that, I mean, have you heard of these tech billionaires? These people who are considered genius. And yet they still somehow lack the fundamental idea of empathy. We are moving in a world where these people are going to own most of those things. The institutions that we've held before are going to start crumbling. They're going to crumble. And are you gonna be one of those people spending most of your time with your head up those people's asses, licking their feet, licking their boots? We're moving into a world where we're going to need to work together. We're going to have to start thinking clearly. We're going to have to find the people who understand what we're talking about. If we want abundance, and when I say abundance, I am not thinking in terms of billionaire, millionaire, hoarding type of mentality. I am talking about stability, community, things that are going to bring us love, things that are going to bring our community peace, things that are going to help us move in a better light, help us move in a better evolve. That is where we need to be. We need to be evolving. And there are people, you don't have to start from scratch. That's the thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are people who are already intelligent enough, who have the knowledge, who know what to do. I do not suggest just solely blindly following anyone. I truly think that it's important for you to become this person yourself, to gain more critical thinking skills, to read up on those who saw this coming a long time ago. This has to deal with empathy. This has to deal with working with other people. Seeing everybody's role in this world as important. Those who cause no harm to others, whether that's directly or indirectly. To be the teacher, to be the student, to be the person who's brave and bold enough to put their bodies out there. The person of inspiration. Those who are not afraid to stand up and possibly be rejected because of their own personal beliefs. And again, these people do not cause harm to others. Being naked is not inherently sexual. And it also does no harm to other people. It does no harm to other people. And that is where you need to be looking. A lot of people in situations of conflict, people aren't asking who has the power and who does not. That is where you need to start. Not from the situation from where you're seeing it, but where are the power dynamics? Who is the person who is marginalized? Who is the person who has nothing? A lot of times we get wrapped up in these people who are very charismatic. And we believe them because they have more certainty in their voice. Because they think they're smarter, that they're better. And look at where they're leading us. A lot of us have a decision to make. This collective has a decision to make, and I think a lot of you know where you need to go. A lot of you know what needs to happen. It's time to let go of this old world. This old world is changing, and this is what we're going to experience if we don't get ahead of it. But if you keep digging your head and digging in the sand, putting your head in the sand and not looking up, before you know it, there are going to be people knocking at your door, taking your family members. There are going to be people ignoring your humanity. It's been happening for a while. It's been happening for a while. This build up has been happening for a very, very long time, and it is strategic. And if you are not one of the elite, you are not going to survive it if you don't get ahead of it. You have to start thinking. Get in connection with those who are saying the things that are not most popular. And the most popular things is not hurting and harming other people. It is not. If you're confused on who is on the right side and who is on the wrong side, if you are confused, then look no further to when someone says, I think people deserve to eat. And who opposes that? Who opposes that? We don't mind that all of our money is going towards bombing people, but we mind if our money goes towards feeding children? That don't make sense. It don't make sense. You need to start listening to those who have the empathy, listening to those who cares. And you're going to have, this is not about just following anybody. And this is how we got in the position that we are right now, because a lot of people are just following these millionaires and billionaires and these people who have no empathy for anybody but themselves because they want to be like them. Soulless, with no empathy for anyone. This is not about blindly following people. This is about getting to the root of things for yourself. What life do you want to live here? A life rich with different cultures, where we all can be celebrated, where we can all have fun, where there's not competition, where this idea that someone is better is foreign. It should be a foreign concept. It should be a foreign concept that that something inherently makes someone better than someone else. It should be a foreign concept to us. We need to start thinking about what has to change to make this world a better place for all of us. Every last one of us. Not what's going to make someone look better or feel better. The King of Cups reverse. There may be some people in this collective's life, or maybe even you, who's not emotionally stable. This person, very dominating energy, and they use their emotions to manipulate others. Very emotional person, and there's nothing wrong with being emotional, but when you use it to hurt and harm other people, you use it recklessly, or when you cannot control it so much that you run away from the truth, then it is time to address it. But a lot of people are stagnant. A lot of people don't want to move towards this new life. A lot of people are sitting around and just being like, oh, I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do. Yes, it is. Yes, there is something that you can do. Everybody plays a role in this. In the lack of role that you play will determine what will happen in the end. If too many people don't do something, you will suffer the consequences of that. If too many people sit around and say they can't do nothing, eventually, what do they call the roosters? The who will come to roost? It's coming back. It's coming back to roost. It's coming back. We have to get out of this stubbornness to not mentally change and mentally grow. And I'm not saying that there is no difficulties, that there's no conflict, that it's not going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be. It's going to be very hard. There's somebody who has a partnership with someone who idealizes this type of behavior, this type of non-empathetic, superior, inferior type mindset person. And this person, it is not up for you to change this person's mind. If anything, they're going to have you complacent in the role that they play in the madness, in the destruction of our society. They're going to have you complacent, stagnant, questioning your own knowledge of empathy. You're going to constantly question your own understanding of empathy. There's someone who you're with that you don't want conflict with, that they're not a good partnership for you. And it is not your job to change their minds. That person's going to have to come to that conclusion, and especially if they don't respect you. And there's a lot of people who are in partnerships with people who don't respect them because they don't see them as human beings, truly. And you're going to have to learn to step away from that. Your great love for someone doesn't mean that they're going to do right by you. Your great love for someone else, you cannot love someone else into having more empathy for you. If anything, people who have this superior, inferior type of mindset, who are reckless and impulsive, the more empathy that you show to them, and this is not me saying you shouldn't do what's right and do right by yourself and, be kind. But sometimes it does mean that you need to walk away. And if that is unkind to them, then so be it. So be it. And a lot of these people who have that type of mentality, when you are kind to them, when you allow them to judge your or not judge, but to sway you when it comes to how you feel about things, they see you as a lesser. They see you as somebody who can be manipulated, as somebody who can be played on. But this ending of this partnership is going to bring you more emotional stability. And again, this might not just be a partnership with a romantic person. This might be a mother. This might be a father. This might be even like a boss or somebody that you look up to. Somebody that you look up to who has no empathy. And you think you're on the same page with this person, and you're not. There is no equal. This person thinks you're a fool. It is going to hurt. And I hate to say it, but this is something where you're going to have to realize that you have other cups. Yes, it is very sad that you had to lose out on these dreams. You had to lose out on this emotion. You had to lose out on this what you thought was potential love. But what was in those cups in the first place? Was it really love? Was it really kindness? Was it really caring? I say the universe has stepped in to knock over a cup of poison for you. Things that will poison your soul. Things that will poison your core, who you are, and turn you into something that you're not. You still have things to hope for. You still have things to look forward to. Turn around. Just look down. The longer you feel like you're losing something in this situation, which, to be honest, you are losing a hope that you had, something that you wished for. That's what you're losing. This person was never really like that. That was just a projection. And maybe at one point, they weren't as bad as they are now. But even if someone was the best person for you at the beginning of everything, you have to look at the patterns. You have to look at how they're moving in the world right now. Where are they right now? And you have to move accordingly for yourself and also for the collective. We have a greater purpose. We do. You're going to move away from this hurt. As in, you're going to be able to heal. And it's going to be quick, actually. The quicker you're able to turn around and look that you still have hope and you still have your core values and your core of who you are, the quicker you'll be able to move forward and finding those who are on the same page with you. It is there. It is possible. I promise you it is. So we have the nine of wands. It's almost like you're at the end of this battle. You are very close to being at the end of this battle. You're very close. No. Let me light this candle again. You're very close to the end of this battle. And I hate to say it, but you have to give up on something. There is some type of thought process, some type of tradition that you're holding on to that is not good for you. It is not good for the collective. It is not good for your future children, for your nieces, your nephews. It's not good. But you're almost at the end of it. And we're at a point in the world right now where things could go really good and things could go really bad. What role do you play in that? Where is your part in that? Are you going around telling people that you don't want to pay for children's lunches? Is that what you're saying? Even after all the money that has been taken out of our paychecks to go to other countries, to go to other people's quote unquote welfare, and we won't ever see the benefits of that? You one of those people who say you don't want to feed our people? Where our money is going to countries where they're killing people? You're going to have to rethink things if that's you. You're going to have to figure out what role you play in this world. Where were you? Where were you? Did you ignore it? Did you ignore it until it came to your doorstep? Because exactly, did you ignore it? Did you ignore it until it came to your doorstep? We all play a part in this. All of us. And this is a card of reverse is a card of distraction. This is telling you don't get distracted. Don't get distraction. Move forward. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and sometimes you have to wait to strike your passion. But this, look at that. She got a phone in her hand. She got a phone in her hand. You spend your time doom scrolling trying to avoid the reality of the world? What part have you played? What part have you played in the human evolution? Is it all on your back? Absolutely not. But it does. But you do play a role in it. And I feel like a lot of y'all are able to see things, or you have been able to see that you've been very stagnant in that energy and you're moving forward. Maybe some of y'all are cancers out there, or maybe y'all know a cancer out there that has been trying to tell you about this. They've been trying to open your mind to this type of information. But you're going to have to get on the ride. This is not the time to sit around and pretend that the world isn't moving in a scary, chaotic way. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to be okay. It is not enough to hope for it. It is not enough to pray for it. It is not enough to just say you're going to be okay. You actually have to move in a way that says that you're going to be okay. You actually have to be a part of the creation for the world to be a better place, or enough of us have to do it. Enough of us have to do it. And if enough of us don't, I would not wait for other people. Because we are so conditioned, I would say that most people want to ignore it. You have to be that person. You have to move forward. Who will? Who will? This fighting for something that's more important than just you. This fighting that's more important than just securing your spot in this world. This fighting for the collective is going to be the thing that's going to bring you the emotional maturity that you need and make you a better person in this world and for all of us. where your emotions won't drown you. You will be able to be in control of that. And it's because you'll be working towards a better future. You know, there's so many people in this world who want better for the world. They want better for us, but they feel so overwhelmed. I have so many people where they're like, well, what am I supposed to do? What can I do? Something. You can do something. And people are like, I don't want to hear about it because it's overwhelming. I don't really want to talk about it because it's overwhelming. Well, it wouldn't be overwhelming if you were a part of the solution. It wouldn't feel as overwhelming. But when you get information and get information and get information and get information and you stand still and you do nothing, that is going to eat you alive from the inside out. So you actually have to do something. That could be something creative. That could be going out and talking to friends. You might be somebody who's really able to sit down and understand people and connect with them and show them a better way. That might be you. This is not for the hot-headed people. This is not for the people who can't keep it together when they actually have a conversation with others. And it's about being curious. That's what it's about. You might be a nurturing person. This energy of giving, and to me this is more so, this is a childhood thing. An inner childhood thing. Whenever I see this upright, I'm like, someone's going to be fulfilled, like their inner child is going to be fulfilled. But I feel like a lot of people, because of their fear of losing things, because their fear of losing others, because their fear of looking at the truth, I feel like a lot of people aren't giving to their younger selves. They're not giving to their younger selves. They're not emotionally fulfilling their younger selves. It's like you're disappointing yourself. Somebody is disappointing themselves because they're not moving forward in the ways that they thought they would. You know how back in the days we used to say, well, if I was back there in the Holocaust, I would have done the X, Y, Z. What are y'all doing now? What are y'all doing now? That is the question. That is the question. Your childhood self is screaming at you. Screaming at you. Because there is emotional fulfillment in doing right by you and doing right by others. We are all connected. But some of y'all refuse to walk away from the system. Some of y'all refuse to let it go. It's almost like some of y'all feel like y'all work is in the system. And if if the system itself is meant to do harm and it's being programmed in a way to do harm to others, then you're going to have to find another way. You're going to have to actually walk away and find that. But some of y'all are really resisting the change because a lot of y'all are a little scared. And not to say this is a bad thing. Who's not scared? In a time like this, who is not scared? Who is not scared? But you're going to need courage. Who's not scared? Be scared and do it anyways. I think we're coming around a time where some of y'all are finally going to see. You're finally going to come out of this being blind and feeling like you can't do nothing, like you're surrounded by swords. And that's going to require you connecting with other people intellectually. You're going to have to connect with other people. And again, I usually hate this card, but in reverse, I actually do love it. It's a very strategic card. When it is this way, it is sneaky underhanded. For me, when I see it reverse, this is more so being strategic in how you move in the world, being strategic with who you link up with intellectually. Your piece is going to be finding others who have the same belief system or who have this belief system, as in love and care for everybody. Not just for thyself, but for others, for all of us. We got to make a better world for all of us. And it doesn't mean turning a blind eye to the terrible things that's happening. It means witnessing it. It means letting go of this idea that you have to hoard. And I think it's letting go. We're getting there. We're getting very, very close. Where people are starting to recognize that it is better to give than it is to hoard. It is better that we all share than destroy something so that nobody gets it. I saw somebody, some person was like, oh, so you would rather lose your health care just so an immigrant won't get it? And this person said, yeah. That's dumb. That's dumb as hell. That's dumb as hell. Where we all should be having free healthcare with the amount of money we fucking pay into this system. If y'all think immigrants ain't paying money, what do you think that's gonna happen when they go to a store and buy some food? You think they don't get taxed for that? Only certain people get exempt from that. Certain people. And it ain't the ones that's coming over here working their asses off. I tell you that one. Very rarely do they get exempt from the taxes here. But somebody is not patient. Somebody might be dealing with a Sagittarius, but somebody's not patient, and this is what's gonna happen. Like I remember listening to not what's gonna happen, but I do remember listening to someone talk about how we need to be better at delayed gratification, because we are so hooked on the technology, we are so hooked on instant gratification that we don't take like solace into we don't take waiting as a form. We don't like to wait for things. That's pretty much it. We don't like to wait for things. We want everything fast and quick. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time, and it's going to take work. If you give up when you're crocheting, you give up halfway, you'll never see what's going to be at the end. If you give up halfway when you're gardening, when you're learning something, you're never going to have the outcome that you want. You're never going to be a great guitar player. You're never going to be a great piano player. You're never going to be a great singer. You have to keep working on it. When you feel that ting inside, when you feel that anxiety, do something. I've been getting in the habit of dancing. I will get my butt up because I know that energy inside me will destroy me. And you have to start listening to your higher self. Start sitting with yourself. Turn the damn TV off. Turn the damn phone off. Stop looking at TikTok for a minute. Sit with yourself. Ask yourself questions. Commune with those who have the knowledge. Sit with yourself for a while. Ask these questions. And when you can't find the answer, go searching for it. Find those who have the knowledge. Find those who have the insight, the intuit for this. It is there. It is there for us. It's there. All right. I'm about to start closing out this reading. Give me your last thoughts. I was just about to say this. A lot going on here. Okay. So there are a lot of this is again a Cancer. This might be someone who's a Cancer. There's a lot of secrets as well though. There are some things that you don't know, and I think that's what makes this so scary, because it's like moving in the dark. But there is a moon and there is a path. Let me pick this card up. There is a moon and there is a path. Is it scary? Yes. Are there enemies? Yes. But there is a path. There is light. You have guidance towards this. And there are others with you. You won't be alone. So it will be scary. Yes, it will. But there is a clear path. Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. The emotional fulfillment that you thought you had is not it's not destined. A lot of people think that, what we are spoon-fed as a child to want is what we're going to want in the end. But a lot of us really need is courage. We need courage to see a better future. We need courage to have this victory. And that's why a lot of I should have kept some of the sideway cards, but I felt called to actually turn these. But we are at a crossroads. I don't know if we will be victorious. I don't know if we will find the balance that we need, because so many people are so occupied and they're so determined to choose comfort over everything, every little thing. And you have to ask yourself, well, what role do you play in this? Because it's not even comfortable. People are not comfortable. People are living in their cars. They're living in tents. They're crying out. People are one paycheck away from being broke. But it really depends on your courage. Your courage to move forward and go in a place that's unfamiliar to you. Look at there's a cave back there. There's a clear path. And you have to be brave enough to go looking. Be brave enough to find the answers. And always ask yourself, always ask, where is the empathy in this? Where is the care and kindness for humanity in this? That's how you will know if you are on the right path. Does it care about others? Does this ideology leave room to help the vulnerable? If it doesn't, then it's not your path. Or it's definitely not a path for victory. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and close this reading out. Have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, and I will see you in the next one.